Let's get into the recent Pete Davidson
Yeah, I
debacle.
was gonna say we get to that, and then I have two other topics.
Normally we
Yeah,
record on Saturdays, so we wouldn't have even been privy to this
and this happened today.
on a beautiful Sunday.
It was my mom's birthday. Well, still it's her birthday. I was at brunch. I didn't know anything was going on. I was chilling, eating.
I'm still not entirely familiar.
No,
You
I
could get
caught
me
up
up to
on pretty
speed.
much.
I saw a video of Kanye talking with his eyes closed. I didn't watch it
Oh,
because
oh yeah, he was praying.
his eyes were closed,
He was
so
praying.
I didn't want to hear what he had to say. But
Nah, he was funny though. He was praying, but like you know when people like,
he was praying but saying crazy stuff.
yeah, like he was like, I'm not gonna be gaslighted. I'm like, whoa, are you talking to God? Or are you talking to who? Are you talking to? Because why are you yelling? Why are you yelling at God? Like I was confused.
Go ahead, tell me what happened.
So basically, it all started. I saw this actually right before the brunch, and I went to eat. I was off my phone, trying to be in the moment, and I came out to a whole bunch of stuff. But before I went inside the brunch, I was like, oh. I saw the first thing Kanye posted today. He actually posted on his Instagram story. That was the start of everything. But the story was just him posting the video of him and Channy on the jumbotron they went to the Lakers game or the Heat game last night. So looking cute. They posted their little video, right? He posted on his story. Then I was like, oh. I knew instantly when I saw the screenshot of the TikTok. You saw that TikTok?
I haven't seen anything.
Okay, so now I gotta really catch you up. Okay, so you know how Kanye's been so adamant about I don't want my daughter on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then he's even on top of that said, I don't want my daughter wearing lipstick on TikTok. Then it's funny because recently he said something about how nobody listens to MGK. He said that like recently. Of course, though, there's a song going around on TikTok by MGK and Willow Smith called Emo Girl or whatever. You ever heard that song?
No.
See,
Wait,
I
time
really
out.
got to catch you up to
You
speed.
said MGK and Willow Smith and thought that and I was listening to that.
Yeah, no. I just thought you might have heard it because it's been like all over TikTok.
No. I have TikTok, but I don't really use it like that.
And see this, you can see the pictures of the TikTok. This is the TikTok with the crazy ass makeup. And let me actually see if I can find TikTok because they deleted it. Yeah, let's actually show you the TikTok.
Just keep talking though.
Wait, am I gonna be? Oh, here it is. Okay, because people be. This is the song.
Turn the song off though, so we don't get copyright. And I don't have to talk over it. Just turn the song
you
down.
can hear it, though.
Yeah, but turn the song down. Turn the song down. Turn it more. Turn it down more.
It wouldn't matter if you copyright. We're not monetized.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the song. So it's just funny because he just said that no one listens to MGK, and then of course, so I don't know if that was purposeful because usually the kids are the ones that come up that are privy to the trends. I don't think Kim is sitting there looking at the trends, which she might be. She might be because that's her whole life is social media. But that's the background. Weeks and months, Kanye, and like honestly years, because he said this on Twitter like years ago how he didn't really want his kids on TikTok. He didn't really like TikTok. Remember, he'd been saying stuff, right? And that was the thing he was pushing with the custody thing and the kids. He don't want his 8-year-old daughter on TikTok wearing lipstick. So fast forward to they're legally single, and Kanye said that he was the one who actually pushed for that more, and that's why he feels like it's weird because Kim will kind of like throw mixed messages like. Every time he does something nice, she would kind of do something weird. Like he was talking about how he tried, he gave her the laptop back from Ray J. She went on SNL and did what she did. Like he said he was the one actually pushing for the divorce, and she actually like wasn't as much as it seems like on social media, which kind of makes sense because like remember she was at his show wearing a wedding outfit, and it's like what I thought you would file for divorce, right? Like why would you even agree to do this? But So, the Variety, like we just talked about the Variety interview happened, right? All the heat was on her. And PR be working crazy. Like I think her PR is that Tracy Romulus that he has beef with. He feels like this was like purposeful antagonization and like trying to get the heat off her. Of course, out of the blue, right? It's been months since posting a TikTok. And you're in the heat of this Variety interview and all the drama. And you post TikTok, that one I just showed you. Right? Like that seems purposeful. And it's almost like that's what he said. He felt like I was antagonizing because he knew that was going to get a reaction of him. Because not only did she make a TikTok, she has a full face of like makeup. And I know it's like, you saw it was like costume makeup, right? With the lipstick. But it's still, you knew it was going to get to him. And then he said, he's a fully Christian. The lyric says, I fell in love with an emo girl. So he's like, why is my daughter talking about she fell in love with an emo girl on TikTok wearing lipstick? It's like everything that you didn't want her to do, she actually did, but even worse because the lyrics are kind of weird, And it's like that's how he started. Like that's how everything started today. He posted the screenshot. I was like, oh my god, he was doing so good. Like like, these huge Kanye fan pages are following me on Twitter because of my Kanye tweets. Like I showed you that one guy who Kanye follows me, two other fan pages that have like hundreds, like tens of thousands of followers, and they only follow 1,000 people follow me. So I'm like, I'm always seeing this stuff happening in real time and their reactions. And we were all like, Kanye's doing so good. He hasn't said anything. He's not taking the bait. And they even had a whole Reddit thread of people saying, what do you think? What do you think Kim's reaction is going to be to, and this was 4 days ago, to all this heat on her. And everybody was like, she's going to drop a TikTok, happen. She's going to do this. It was like a whole bunch of stuff that they knew that she was going to do. Someone said she can drop a picture repeat. What did she do? I don't know if you saw that. She dropped the picture repeat. Did you see that? And what was she doing in that picture? She was wearing a jacket that Kanye got her. Like, it's so purposeful, right? Like, it's just nasty. It's so nasty. And that's why I'm like, not really, like, I'm fully off them at this point. It's like, that's why I guess I didn't even go crazy with this whole variety thing to try to defend them. It's like, and it's just funny that people knew what the moves were. They knew, they know her enough at this point and how her PR works. So Kanye was doing so good until today. That's how it started. He posted a screenshot of North's TikTok. Made a whole paragraph about how I said I didn't want my 8-year-old on here. Blah, blah, blah. Then next he had smoke for DL. Remember we were talking about DL? You saw all that stuff?
I said I haven't seen anything.
You didn't, and he deleted everything now off his Instagram. But you saw what he said. Yeah, so he finally responded to that. I was like, oh, great. Like, you were doing good. But I guess today he was like, you know what? Everybody who has something to say, I'm saying something now. I'm on this long rampage about how no one really messes with him and stuff. And then this is something that he actually said that was kind of scary. I mean, I'm not even gonna say scary because I don't want to fall into that whole, what's that page called? I don't want to fall into that whole, oh my God, Kanye's gonna, I know who posted it. Yeah, first thing. I don't want to fall into that whole, oh, Kanye's, I'm worried he's gonna do something. But this, like, he posted, that this was his screenshot, and then he said, like, oh, he lives in Calabasas. Yo, God is good, because what he said before that was, DL, don't speak on me or my children. I could afford to hurt you. That was his last sentence. I could afford to hurt you. It was like, what that mean?
That he has enough money to
get somebody
to pay no. Well, if you went there, if that's what you were taking from,
that's what I took, and that's how DL took it too, because he responded.
Because he could have meant anything. He could pay somebody for information to put out for DL. He could,
and apparently too. Look, I retweeted this today. This was from 2020. DL let one of his friends rape his daughter. Sick, and people were up here defending him today.
So, that, like, I don't think Kanye was saying on Instagram that he was going to put a hit out.
That's how people took it, though, because how even he took it. He was on, he's retweeting the Pete messages. But he said, ain't no way in hell I ever be scared of a dude who wears, I know what you did last summer boots.
Putting hashtag Team DL at your big age is crazy.
Yeah, that's what people say. I'm like, at the end of the day, you inserted yourself into this drama. Your grown self inserted yourself into this drama. So you're wrong at the end of the day. You look crazy. Because now you getting all this off. Like, you couldn't wait to get this off, And it's like, at the end of the day, you insert yourself in. Nobody asked you for your 2 cents on their situation, on their marriage, on their kids. And you all, Kanye's, he's, this is harmful abuse. Like, you can't just be saying stuff like that. And now I'm hearing you let a friend rape your daughter.
Allegedly.
So, this is what he said. Here's a thought. While you're on your way to kill me in Calabasas, how about somebody drop by CVS and pick up his Xanax? So people did take it as a I'm gonna come for you. So
I don't think Kanye was dropping death threats. In addition, what he also probably meant was that if he did anything to him, that he could just pay the case.
Yeah.
Because he's rich. So not even physically, but, if he said anything.
Yeah.
Damage his property, whatever it is, he'll just pay for it.
So that was, he went on his little rant about DL, and that's when he posted the videos, right? And to summarize the videos, because they were like 4 minutes each. This one was only a minute, and this was a minute, but then this one was like 4, and then there was another one that was 4 minutes. But this first video was just him saying how he did no TikTok, like he was re-emphasizing that. He was saying how Kim called him, or how he just got off the phone before he made the video. He just got off the phone with her saying how saying how he didn't want that, and he was just saying calmly like, the crazy part is no one even calls him and say, hey, North made this TikTok, like run it by him. He was saying like, where's the respect as a parent, right? Like at least be like, he said that like at the bare minimum, at least do that, right? Send me the TikTok before it's posted and say, do you have any concerns? This is the TikTok she wants to post. But there's no running by him as a father
women
about.
don't do that.
Yeah, but it's nasty. Like, and I get that us as women, we bear the child. Like, I get that we go through possibly dying to bring life into this world. So I understand that as a woman, the importance that we are as mothers. Like, we literally produce the milk that they drink, before formulas and stuff existed. So I get the importance as a mother, but at the same time, you have to respect the father figure. Like that parenting still, you have to respect. Like, you can't have a kid on your own. Yeah, we do all that stuff and our bodies go through all that, but you still couldn't do that without the man. And where is the respect to the father? It's like, I know, and like Kim especially still loves her dad who's passed. So like you come from that world and you still act like a weird baby mama is just weird to me.
I think all women are like that.
It's nasty.
But it's almost like there's no point if like that's your perspective. I almost feel like there's no point for men in even
to be in the life. Like just be the sperm donor, and that's so sad perspective. And it shouldn't be that way. Like you participated in bringing that child into this planet. That's still your kid. And I get like you don't have that same connection as far as bearing the child. Like I do feel like men probably do kind of feel that like. No, I'm saying like they feel like kind of like that like. Loss of connection in that way because they will never know what it's like to actually grow that kid in you.
Women can also be bad mothers.
They could be, and
I think most of women are bad mothers.
Yeah, and actually do harm.
More
for their
harm
kids.
than I think people always focus on daddy issues. There's more mommy issues than there is daddy issues for sure.
More girls out here, especially
hate their moms than they hate their dads.
Yeah, like I feel like an abusive parent, emotionally and physically, is worse than an absent father, in my opinion.
Yes.
And a lot of girls are messed up. Like Choice, I always reference him. He has good videos. He did a video showing like this. It was the mom who did it. Live streamed her like cursing her daughter on Facebook, calling her all types of names, and it's just like, ugh, it's so sad. Especially when the women get older, and this is coming from firsthand accounts. So I'm not just saying this. As a man, it's my mom's birthday. I love my mom, but I have my stories. And we, anyway, we were in a good place, but just keep going. She was mean. She was so mean growing up. But yeah, so that was, and I get that. Like as a father, how do you not even give him the heads up? Like here's a TikTok. Do you approve? Like that's still, you still gotta respect him as a father because those kids would not be here without him too. Like women forget that you can't have these kids without a man, and men can't have kids without the woman. We need each other to have these kids, and dads should have that right, like that that right to give that. Like he was saying, that's what he was like saying on his videos. He was like. He didn't want his kids going to Sierra Canyon. He always emphasizes that school. He doesn't like it. He'd rather his kids go to like a different school that's not really like in the industry. That's in like the heart of it. Like you're in Calabasas. Like, is Calabasas Sierra Canyon or Sierra Canyon in Calabasas? I'm not sure. Something like that. But that's the school. Where all the rich kids go up. That's where they're gonna be around. That's what their scope is. He didn't want to go in there, but he said, she wanted them to go there, and like he kind of always backs out a lot, and I think he's just frustrated. Like people see him as being crazy. I think this is just a pinnacle. Like it's just accumulation, like of the kids doing things he don't want them to do, and he feels like he's losing his voice. And I think that's why he was holding on to the marriage so much. I don't think I think he wrote down his caption like that. He don't want her back. Like he was like I moved on. Like he said he's done. I think he was holding on for the marriage simply because he knew he was gonna lose that control of his kids. And that's so sad. Like that's sick, right? Like not right. Like why not send a TikTok to him? Like, hey,
I don't think any woman would do that. This
is a draft. Is this okay to post? Like, do you have any concerns as a father, as a public figure with public figure kids? Do you have any concern? Because their situations different than regular people. Like they're public figures. You have millions of people who are criticizing your kid. Women, for whatever reason, just have this mentality that like they are the possessor of the kid. Like they are the ones that own the kid. Like I saw somebody post earlier, and it's even in the words that they use. Like she said, thanks to my husband for helping out with the kid. It's like helping out with the kid. Yeah, he's not the help. He's not the maid. That's his kid. What do you mean helping? Something else I noticed too. I like, and I get it's still your kid, but I feel like I don't like that possessiveness that mothers do sometimes. My kid, like, my child. And they'll say that to the husband or like the boyfriend or whatever, the baby dad. Like, oh, like give me my child back. Like, whoa, like that's so evil and little. Like that's something that's like, and you could be jokingly doing that, but that's something that's so subconscious that you keep feeding that into your husband or your baby daddy's head. Like that's so mean. Like, oh, pass me like Oh, don't even like, my mom had this conversation with me too because she would have her gripe with like family members saying like, oh, my my nieces or my nephews, like she don't like when they do that. It's like call them by their name, you know. Like don't give like what's that possession over somebody? Like if it's your child, I wouldn't even say pass me our child. That's weird. Just say, oh, pass me Malika, Oh, like can you go get Alex? Call the baby by his name. Like you have respect for your child. Like call them by their name. Don't say like bring me my kid. That's so rude. That's so nasty. Like a lot of people are not meant. Like a lot of these women are not fit to be mothers. They have too many issues with men. They don't like men. They have their issues with the person they decide to have kids with. And then they use that. It's evil because they use that weakness over. They use that like they know that the course will side with them, and they use that to try to hurt the man when something happens, when the relationship falls apart, or when they have issues prior to the kid that they still bring up now when the kid's in the world, and they'll use that to target. Like they'll fight with the husband and then be like, "Well, me and my kids are going to grandma's house." Like,
I have such a jaded mindset, and this is not about you specifically, but my whole mindset about marriage and kids and stuff is so jaded because I hate all of it.
It's so societal.
I hate it.
And it's funny because like we're just gonna do it because that's like what society tells us to do, but it really is kind of crazy.
I don't want kids.
We're having kids. I only want kids because I'm kind of like a low key egotistical, and I just want to see like my protege.
Until something goes wrong.
I want a mini me.
Until something goes wrong.
Yeah, don't put that in the universe.
I'm not.
God forbid.
Something goes wrong with everybody. Everybody has issues.
Yeah, we all.
How much stupid shit I've done.
Yeah, but doing stupid stuff doesn't mean you have issues.
I didn't say. I didn't. You might have taken that a different way.
You say everybody has their issues. Oh, you just mean like yeah. There's a lot that comes with kids. That's a whole conversation for another day because there is like that burden of like you're bringing a human into this world to live in this world that could to essentially suffer. Okay, see now we're getting negative, but yeah, I see what you mean. Like it's just so many people are just fall in line of what society's supposed to tell you and are literally just pawns in this system, and it's just crazy.
It's men's fault. I will say that. The reason why it's men's fault, it's almost like the same thing as like the BBL conversation where men stated out loud that we desire this decades ago. Women are like, okay, well, I guess I got to do that.
Yeah.
They do that, but then run it into like the ground, and now it's like BBLs are everywhere. But it's now women that are perpetuating. It's men said something once.
Yeah, men started. One person heard it from a man, like you heard Nikki. One woman heard it from a man. Like Nikki's a perfect example. She heard it from the men, but look at her network from her.
And now everybody's doing squats.
Like the thing with Nikki, Lil Wayne, what he said could have impacted like 3 girls, right? And maybe out of those 3 girls, Nikki's the one that actually got surgery. The rest of them just went on without their life. But now Nikki is probably linked to hundreds, thousands of surgeries.
Yeah.
So you as the woman perpetuated more than Lil Wayne's comments did.
Same with this. I think that women feel so possessive over the kid because that was at one point what men said. Like the men wanted to be the people that paid for everything. And the women were submissive. Yeah. So the women were possessive over the kitchen and the kids.
And the men weren't really taking care of the kids either. They went to work.
They
expected the wife to do everything, feed the baby, change diapers. So the woman had that connection to the kid. Because not only did you birth them, but you actually raised them. And the men didn't really raise them. They were kind of just there and worked. But
now that's transit. But everybody's mother, like Kim is what, 40 something?
Yeah,
how old is?
I think she's like 41.
However old her mother is, would have been
60 something.
Would have been from that era. Like,
yeah.
Or even mothers older than that.
And you see, like that's what their family life was. I don't know if Chris worked, but Robert was lawyer.
Yeah. And so that's the women that are raising.
Kim grew up in that household, especially when they got divorced. She grew up in a single mom household. I mean, but then not really though, because Chris immediately got with Bruce.
And then the women the women feed their daughters and stuff, and then this is the recourse of it. So it's technically men's fault, and it's still.
And it's nasty because I seen it with my own eyes. The feeding daughter, I have friends with single moms, and I've seen it. It's vicious. Cause I witnessed it. I witnessed the moms complaining about men like, "Well, I'm in the house. Now you're impacting me." That's why I see why moms or parents in general be like, "I don't want my kids sleeping over at anybody's house or sleeping over." Cause now your kids in this environment. I shouldn't be hearing you when I'm in middle school complaining about your ex-husband. Like that shouldn't be a memory right now, But you see how those like a lot of my like friends have turned out and being raised in those environments. It's just sad. But a lot of them at least overcome it.
Let's talk about the Pete
Yeah.
factor.
So Pete came in because okay, so that was another thing too. Kanye was saying how he was trying to get his kids to get to the Sunday service. Like he was saying how there was excuses, like how Kim keeps coming up with excuses for stuff, right? Like, oh, North was at sleepover, she can't come. And then we noticed the Don the Two listening party, North wasn't there. Like, and they're saying that Kanye said he feels like it's North because she's old enough now that Kim's using to try to play with him, you know, because she's old enough now. Like, yeah, she is going to sleepover. And that's the thing, even with her being older, yeah, she probably is more busy than the younger kids. But that's like, you know, she's getting older, so where she gets to speak her mind, she can give her opinion.
A kid being busy is funny.
I know. And it's like, you guys are rich. Like, send her on the next flight. Yeah, she's in a sleepover. And Kanye said, I'll push Sunday service back so she can make it. So that was the next thing he was saying. And this, you said his eyes were closed, so he did a prayer that his kids could come to Sunday service. But then, you know, the prayer was mixed in with him coming crazy. And you know what he said in his prayer? That's what I said. It's funny because it was a prayer. His eyes was closed when he said this. He said, I made you guys cool to the Kardashians, which is true. Because he was saying, how you guys gonna like act this way or something like that. Like, don't forget who made you cool. And I was like, ooh, he's spitting. But you can't say that in the middle of a prayer. Like, I hate when people try to mask prayers and stuff when they really were trying to come crazy. So that was it with the videos. I think he posted something else. And then, as we know, Pete came in to the conversation. And I think, I don't even know how he got involved, but I think it was like his manager or somebody posted the pictures of the messages. And I wanted to find the actual messages. Didn't we just have them up? Yeah, here we go. I think it was somebody that posted it, like his manager or something. So clearly he wanted the message out there because the messages are from Pete are in blue. So clearly Pete screenshotted it, right? Sent it to somebody. And you know, he's kind of like more private when it comes to his like socials. I think he had like, this was his statement, which is kind of weird because why are you coming out of nowhere? Like, I don't think Kanye even said anything about Pete in any of these conversations lately, but I guess this is like he used his opportunity. And that's why I feel like this was a ploy. Like, I really do feel like Kim and Pete, like I feel like Kim is low-key kind of like evil. I really think they were antagonizing him. Like, he was chilling. He hasn't said anything. He actually has not been ranting since he dropped his stem player and Down to Two. It's been weeks. Like, he has not been ranting. He posted his poems, you know, he posts easy music video, but he hasn't really been like doing like the paragraphs lately. And I think Kim really wanted to take this heat off for her with this interview. And like, it's so evil what they did. Like, you posted the pictures wearing the jacket, trying to pull him in. You posted the TikTok after not posting TikTok for months, you know, like this was so purposeful. And it's just like, wow. And now Pete's dropping messages, right? Like in something that has nothing to do with him. So it's funny too. He started his message with saying, yo, it's Skeet. So he's going along. He's going along with that. Isn't that kind of funny? You gotta admit that's kind of funny. Right? You don't think it's funny that he started with yo with ski? But I'm not gonna read all the messages. But he was saying he was like calm down. It's 8 a.m. And I think maybe he's texting him this because I think he was calling Kim. Like, he was posting screenshots and the messages, like there were messages that he was sending at like 6 a.m. to Kim. So I think he was up, you know. And that's not good because he doesn't need to get his sleep. Like, you was just in the Miami Heat game, took a flight back home, daylight savings happened, you lost sleep, and you had to get up for Sunday service. So I think he was saying like Kim's the best mom. Blah blah, and you could tell this was purposeful because he probably was making sure that he was sending like good messages, knowing that he was gonna post them out. And then kind of said, "Oh, using profanity right now. Where are you right now?" And then he said, "You know, in bed with your wife," which is sick. And my whole thing is, people are saying, "Oh, it's deserved. Kanye deserved it after all he's been messing with him." But it's like you can't be a hypocrite though, because I thought what Kim was saying, like, oh, she doesn't want Pete to get involved, doesn't want, wants Kanye to be the bigger person. So now why is Pete allowed to do this and people are defending and saying Kanye deserved it? When in the next breath he was like, he's saying, I'm trying to help you out with your mental health. Like, you can't be like, I want you to get better, but then that was the message you sent, right? Like, that's sick. Like, that's sick. And that could send someone to a spiral. Imagine seeing that. That is nasty, right? I feel so bad. I can't. So he's basically saying like that he's being embarrassing. It's sad to watch you ruin your legacy, blah, blah, blah. And then Kanye just kept saying like, you're welcome to come to Sunday service. Like, he was just being calm with him. Like, come to Sunday service. Like, we can link. And he's like, why don't we meet after Saints game? Which is kind of why, like, don't say my son's name. Don't say my son's name. Didn't even capitalize Saint. I'll be at the BHH, which I'm assuming Beverly Hills Hotel. We can have food, talk in the room, blah blah, man to man. And then he's like, you want to come see me? Come to Sunday service. Kind of just what I'm saying. Come to Sunday service. He's like, this isn't public. I'm not here for pictures and press, which is obviously all you care about. My offer stands. I wish you'd man up for once in your life. Let me help you. Man, I struggle with mental health stuff too. It's not an easy journey. Like, you can't be saying all that after you just sent the picture 5 minutes ago. I'm in the bed with your wife, right? Like, you look stupid. So, and he said, I've stopped SNL from talking about you. Like, trying to say all this stuff. I stopped all this. I'm doing all this. I think there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about, and these messages don't really prove anything. Like, but I feel like there's a lot of evil stuff, and like, and yeah, I'm not gonna like, I don't want to be one of those Kanye like he does no wrong in my eyes, because he still contributes to it. But I do feel like we can't really speak on. We don't know what that's like. There's probably a lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes. And he said that. He said, you guys saw with the Chicago, her birthday party. Like, that's a memory she might remember. Like, why was my dad there? Like, why weren't you giving him an address? And people are like, oh, you could have had a party for her. It's like, no, but why not be at that party together? Why not? So I don't know. I feel like a part of him acting the way he acts is because there's stuff behind the scenes that's making him go crazy. Like, this stuff happens all the time in this industry.
The thing is, though, you knew what you were getting into. So,
you did, and that's
where I think it starts and ends.
And yep, exactly. Because I said that to myself today, like earlier. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, people want to have these cute little, especially mixed kids for like the look, like the kids all the kids are really cute, and it's like, but did you guys discuss before you decide to lay up and have kids what your how you were raised? Clearly Kanye is putting an emphasis on wanting his kids every Sunday at a Sunday service. Like, he's so Christian, he wants to raise his kids like that.
It's not, but yeah.
No, but he's always been a Christian, like Jesus walks. Like, this is not like something he's just started doing. Like, he's always emphasized his Christian roots. Like, he always, and then you saw the documentary. His mom brought up God a lot. They went to church. It's not like it's a new thing. In Black culture, we go to church. I personally don't, but that's the thing in Black culture. Sunday, and I as a kid I went a lot, and I know you said you didn't really go as a lot, but I was raised in that. Like, especially when you have those Southern roots, and like you go to those Baptist churches, like. That's what he was raised on. So, he wanted to raise his kids on God and on church and on religion. And Kim might not have as much of an emphasis for that, right? But it's like, that's something you discuss before you have kids. Kim is public figures, social media. That's something you discuss before you have kids. Like, even that's something you talk way in advance. Can our kids be on social media? And I know that's kind of a premature talk, like before you have kids, but it's like,
look what you got into, bro.
Yeah, and they're both wrong.
It's like wife and the IG model.
Yeah, it's like you wanted to have these kids in the marriage for the aesthetic, but the lifestyles don't align. That's why people have such a push on interracial marriages and stuff. And yeah, do that. But I will always, at the end of the day, die for Black love and Black relationships. I feel like there's just something that's undeniable and unbeatable about marrying and having a family and being with somebody that we only understand each other, right? Like, Black people, we all have a similar experience and a similar upbringing. And it's like, nothing beats that. Nothing beats raising a family and having a life with somebody that you can relate to on so many aspects, right? Like, me and you have so many conversations about our Southern roots and how your grandma's from Alabama, mine from Mississippi. Like, that same story of them coming up from the South. Like, people don't have, this is such a unique experience with Black people. Our roots being in slavery and how you have like, you talk about Cherokee roots, and I talk about, like, I was talking to my mom today, like ours was Choctaw. It's like, that's such a unique experience that only us Black people have. And it's like I just can't imagine being with any other race. I'm sorry, that like love is not enough for me. It has to. We need that connection, that cultural connection, and it's like that's the reality of this. All these women want the Black man for how would you word it, for the assets, the stereotypical assets of Black men. And for the aesthetic, and for because it's cool, and because the kids are mixed and have curly hair and loose hair. But then that's why these marriages fall apart. None of them survive, because where's the conversation about like how you want to be raised? And so Kanye said in the song "Easy," like rich ass kids, it ain't your mama's house, because it's like, yeah, we're rich, but you gonna come to your dad's house and grow up kind of like still be humble, Don't ask me to go get your food. You go into, like you said, go into the cabinet, step on your brother's shoulders and get the top ramen out. Like, Cause it's different lifestyle. You're spoiled. They probably spoil them over at Kim's house. But Kanye say, no, you like, my thing is, yeah, you got money, but you're not gonna ask for everything. Go get the noodles yourself, right? Like, don't be spoiled. And that's the conversation you have before you have kids. So Kanye's wrong too. Like, I'm gonna come at him. You wanted Kim, she was that was your dream girl, and she was so sought out after. And look where you're in. And I do sympathize with Kanye because he really has no one. Like he said, he tried to get his dad to talk to Kim. Donda would have talked to Kim at this point. His dad refused. Donda would have talked to Kim. And I feel bad because he really doesn't have like any like real support family wise. Like that was all he really had family wise was his mom. So it's sad. It's really sad. It's just a sad situation, but that's the moral. That's the moral of the story. So I got smoke for Skeet and Kim. If I see them, it's smoke. It's on site.